Welcome, lords and ladies, and generals of Total War Center. Welcome to Strong Arms and Swift Steel number 2. I'll get to that in a moment. This will be a free-for-all hot seat with myself playing as the Kingdom of the Iron Throne, House Lannister, basically. The Greyjoys will be admin-controlled, I believe. Kingdom of the South with Renly being controlled by Hannibal 2001, I believe. Kingdom of the North by Ghjacobsen something, G.H. Ghjacobsen I think it is, and Targaryen and admin faction are all like the admin has 3 factions, there are 4 factions, so there's that. And then Captainnorway will be controlling Kingdom of the Narrow Sea as Stannis the Menace. Alright, so I'm going to go over a few objectives and ground rules. Forts, 3 forts per region, 9 forts total per faction. You can destroy buildings, only the chapels, so only the religious buildings and the blacksmiths. And if you do too many or too much, I don't know if that really affects, depending on how many you destroy, that you could get some rebels to attack you. I'm probably going to get raided, or Stark's possibly going to get raided too by the Ironborn. Hey, everybody could get raided technically. It's fair game, fair game. Uh, Another thing is you can, achieve objectives in this hot seat. You can gain Valyrian steel swords or other ancillaries. You can capture generals for it. You can execute people. Yada yada yada. I also have a few generals under prisonership, and I likewise have these two. And that's what Stark was messaging me about. So now I'm not going to message him back because having this pop up a bazillion times when I was scouting around and testing for like 2 or 3 hours straight, because I've treated this like the tournament, it was annoying as fuck. So I'm going to just PM him back, private message for those of you who don't know. Another thing, along with the objectives, is you can actually send back, you can send, say, I want to choose Davin Lannister. I can choose Davin Lannister to go to Old Valyria and see if, you could send people on a voyage to Old Valyria, and they might come back with a dragon, Valyrian equipment of some sort, or nothing. It's a possibility. So I'll send, because the better your command, the better chance that you are to come back with something or make it back alive at least. So with that in mind, I'm going to send Tywin because he's got the best command. Now, it will be 7 once I've moved everything and done everything, but I'm going to spare everybody's time because it takes like 10 plus, maybe like 15 minutes for me to move everything around. I'll show you guys what I did, and I'll talk a little bit about what I did in however long it takes me to do that. But as far as I know, that's about all I really need to let you guys know about. See, buildings, yada yada. Pretty sure that's it. Free for all, so threat from the south. I'm not really worrying about the south right now. They don't have a ton of troops in range of me right now, per se. What I really want to drive for is to take out the stocks in the Riverlands, if I can. Take out Harrenhal. I do get something for taking out Harrenhal and holding it for a few turns. So if I can do that, that'd be great. The only threat is really Dragonstone, but Stannis' main army is down here at Storm's End. It just depends if Renly goes first or Stannis goes first. If Stannis goes first, he's screwed because he can't enter enemy lands until they play their turn. So if Renly goes first, then Stannis can ford around and, take Tarth and Rainhouse or whatever he wants to do. So, well, yeah. Plus, I'm hoping for the Targaryen faction to come up from the south and kick Renly's ass, so I don't have to deal too much with him because I'm gonna be sacrificing these 2 places if push comes to shove. And I know that if you disconnected, it's easier to get. Um, I'm thinking of the civil, the American Civil War, where they'll cut off from the Confederacy a few states via river, and then they just take control of those states, and then they do it again and again. Not in this case because we're pretty self-sufficient, but I'd prefer not to have it happen unless it's necessary completely. But without further ado, I'm going to cut ahead to where I actually have everything set up, and I'll see you guys in a minute. Alrighty, we're back, and we've moved everything I need to move. From Davin to God and Golden Tooth and Stafford. Now, Damon and Leo, I moved them back because I don't want them to get... Well, I don't know why I moved... Well, Damon's not really increasing the economy at all, so I just moved him out because... But I can certainly move him back in this direction. And Stafford, I just decided to throw him that way, so we'll have 4 generals up north to help against that area if need be. Actually, I'm thinking I might possibly use Davin. Like, I'll leave half a stack under either Damon or Leo and kind of use these 3 settlements to block off any attack on Golden Tooth, because going against Riverrun, they have Black Haven, no, not Raventree, sorry, not Black Haven. Raventree and Stonehenge and Pink Maiden, all 3 settlements right in range, and I only have 1 bridge. It's suicide. It's not gonna happen. So I'm gonna save at least, say, half of his troops, probably the lesser half, and we'll build up a ship over here. That way, if the admin decides to start raiding us, then we'll kick their ass or something, maybe. Okay, so when it comes to the stocks in their area, I could be off by a few units, but as it stands, I believe I found every single unit, except for 8, which is mostly cavalry, and Bright and Blackfish, one of the Karstarks, not Harrion of course, but one of the Glovers, because I just couldn't find them, or it won't show you, it's a question mark, questionable. Anyways, Bolton and Mooten next to this grain thing have most of the garrison that left Harrenhal. Otherwise, the rest of it is here as Spear Militia. Now, I don't know why he moved forward with Fort, but what I do know is due to testing that they're out of range. Stonehenge has about 9 units in it. Not sure if they're Cav or generals or whatever. Anyways, they're out of range. The generals that are in the fort, this little section right here, I believe it's Bracken and Umber, John Umber, they're both out of range. And I tested it with those 2 specifically just to make sure. Then they have about 5 generals in Pink Maiden with just the standard garrison that it started with, and then they forted off with Mark Piper here. They've got Rob with Blackwood and another general, because Rob and Blackwood were on either side and the mystery generals in between, so I don't know of the 3 generals where I don't know their current situation. I would have to say that the Brian and Blackfish is somewhere at large over here, because it doesn't make sense keeping him locked away at Riverrun. I mean, if he did, then that's great for me, but oof, not smart for you. But yeah, I did some testing, and with the 8 units, probably Cav, that would be in range. Maybe I even added a few infantry just to give them a possible chance. But that was without Kevin's army, and we still crushed them. So I added Kevin's army just as insurance, because I don't want to get my ass handed to. I took away most of Tywin's ancillaries due to them giving plus to trade or taxes. Taxes. There's a bounty on Clegane's head, just so everybody knows. Those who kill him get Doran Martell. Doran, I think it's Doran. It's the Snake of Doran before he had his face crushed by the mountain. So I'm not sure if it's going to be an entire army or if it's just going to be him himself. We'll see. Uh, just this half stack-ish with these two generals. We got, 4 units down here still. Silver Hill's kind of on its own, so I'm going to make a militia, just in case. I'll scout every turn, of course, and say that Renly decides to try and make a cheap attack on Silver Hill. I can make it so I can fort like right here, and then I'll just I'll just jump these guys over there, and the possibility that I can actually save it if I can't. It's a distraction, which is good. This guy is going to go over to Golden Tooth. He's going to increase it by about 100 because of his ancillary, and that's that. The plan over here, for whatever reason, Balon's Swan has like a 10% extra move, but I'm not seeing it on his chart anymore. Whereas Sandor can't make it that far. But the plan is to pretty much fort this off, take Maidenpool next turn, or the turn after, and kind of scooch Bolton back. If we can kill Bolton's stack and take Harrenhal, that would be the biggest blow we could do to Stark. While at the same time I am leaving just enough men in the Crown Lands to defend it and keep it happy. Ships are just out of range of those ships at Driftmark. This ship is just out of range of the ships ported over there, and that's pretty much all I got for you guys. There's not really much more to say. Oh, I also am training a war galley in both King's Landing and Lannisport, just because they cost the most and they take the most time. You need to get them started. Galley also, since I had some extra money, because I need to combat the naval superiority over here, because they have a one war galley with silver chevron. Now, obviously, I might be able to take that on with two galleys, just regular galleys. I might, but if they attack me, I'm screwed, so I can't be out in the open water. Oh, another thing while I'm on the topic of ships is all ships, due to auto-resolve being kind of shitty when it comes to Westeros mods, with just ships in mind, is ships need to have a 1-to-1 ratio in order to actually be able to win. So there's that, which is, it's good. It's good. I'm just letting you guys know. Otherwise, yeah. Oh, also, we'll be using the Middle Bloods. We're using the Middle Bloods mod, and there's also going to be a link to the Total War Center forum. Also, I destroyed any churches or blacksmiths that were in harm's way, except for Crakehall and Cornfield and Silverhill. Well, actually, get rid of that church. I don't need that one. But like here or here, I kept the blacksmith here, but Banefort, I really don't see it as a place I'm going to be staging any attacks. Or, recruiting a massive amount of soldiers. Blech. Here I left the church because it's making the populace happy by 5%, so we're keeping it. This extra 500 gold will keep us in the 5 grands next turn, so we have half as much as we started with. Next time, probably start recruiting a galley over here, and then we'll have about 3 grand to play around with when it comes to troops. Yeah, those knights are best off served spiced cold. Cold. Ice cold. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, Allard Massey, I moved him because honestly, Stone Dance is on its own. If I could save Stone Dance by having my ships here, that's wonderful. But obviously, if they move their ship on this other side of the tip, then I can't help it. So either way, it's probably screwed. These guys might get attacked on the way out of Rook's Rest, but it would take all their spear militia probably just to get a victory, and they don't have enough men to uh, fort that off, even if they got a man of the hour. So I don't see them doing that as a unwise decision. So next time we'll see if this pays off. If it does, then I might be able to cut them off from Harrenhal, which would be really good for me. If I can just cut Harrenhal off completely and take it, that'd be great. Also, this fort is really great because it's just one. You don't need to use two, and that was my big concern over here was this. I could use two here, or I could use two here, four, or I could just fall back and use zero and save my money. That's what I ended up doing with Golden Tooth, and over here I tried just using what I needed. Just do what you need, and when it comes to this, I might be sitting here a while, so I just recruited what I needed. And I moved one of these guys down here with my ships because if Joffrey gets stolen, then he's got militia, or if I need to take him out, which has happened in other hot seats, but I'm just rambling right now, so I'm going to end the turn. Thank you everybody for watching. I'll pass it on to... Oh, it is the Kingdom of the South, so I'll pass it on to Hannibal, and good luck to everyone in the hot seat. And also be sure to read if anybody posts roleplay when it comes to people going to Valyria, because I could tell you I am, but it's probably going to be short, so it probably won't matter. So anyways, thank you everybody. I'll see you next time. Berry night out.